After NEC and Hudson created the PC Engine console, they searched for new developers to create games for it. One such company was founded in 1989 called Tenky. Their first game was Wallaby, based on a cute animal from Australia that's like a smaller kangaroo. The game's like a horse racing game where you place bets, but with Wallaby instead of horses. It released for the PC Engine in December 1990. You can select a rabbit to play as, name yourself, and head off to see the Wallaby in action. You can walk around and talk to people, make bets, and watch the Wallaby run. You can switch between the different Wallaby and which one you want to focus the camera on. Honestly, it's a pretty neat little game, very cute. Their second game was Signatory, a point-and-click adventure game for the Sharp X68000 home computer. It's a time travel game involving fighting Nazis, and it even has some combat sections. Kind of a wild turn. After that, they returned to the PC Engine for their next game, starring a little girl and a dragon. The game would become Dragon Egg, and released on September 27th, 1991. Man, this cover is so cute. It almost gives me Akira Toriyama vibes for some reason, even though it looks fairly different from his style, but there's just something about it. Opening up the manual, we get this adorable artwork, and a showcase of the racing mechanic, which we'll get back to, and a look at the dragon, and man, he's so fucking cute, look at this guy! Booting the game up shows us this beautiful art of a kingdom with his dragon around it. I'm playing the fan-made English translation patch so I can show off the story. It's about a warrior who long ago tamed the great dragon, and with its help, he brought peace to the kingdom of Königs, but chaos returned to their world under the evil ruler who infected the lands, sending out monsters and bringing the dragons to extinction. But we see an old man who had kept the last dragon egg safe for all this time. He says the only one who can hatch the egg and bring peace to the world is Aaron, the last descendant of the dragon masters. He hands his goggles and wishes her well as she takes off on her adventure. And that's the story. So it's up to you to make the dragon hatch and save the land. Starting the game shows that it's a pretty straightforward platformer, but instead of attacking by jumping, you have an attack button, which makes you swing the egg at your enemies, which seems like kind of a dangerous thing to do for the sake of the dragon egg, but I mean, if it works, it works. I guess it's just made of a really hard shell. Collecting the fire orbs will make the dragon hatch. In this form, the attack button makes it shoot some fire, which helps you have a bit more range. Getting 3 orbs makes the dragon grow and you can ride it, and now it shoots long-ranged fire. Getting 4 orbs will make it evolve into its final form, which shoots more fire, jumps high, and has a slight glide to its jump, making it much easier to get around. The thing is though, if you die, you go back to the egg form. I actually didn't think it was going to work like this when I started playing. I kind of hoped the dragon would grow as you kept going, but the game is more about making sure you don't have to restart the hatching process. That is fun and rewarding in and of itself, but it also has the issue of the better you do, the easier it gets because you do more damage and jump higher and all that. So it kind of makes losing the dragon a bit frustrating, but it also makes it so that dying actually means something. And if you're good at watching your health and stocking up on healing items, it makes for a rewarding experience. The game would probably be a lot less interesting without that layer of depth. And you get handed out the fire orbs pretty fast anyway, so it's not that big of a deal if you die. You can get more hearts, and each heart takes 2 hit points to go down. Your maximum health count is 4 hearts, meaning 8 hits in total. You can also buy a shield, which lets you take some extra hits and look all funny. You can power up the attack, which will carry over if you die. So, if you're fully powered up, the dragon shoots some homing projectile fireballs. You can stock up on cures, which heal a bit of health. If you're in a tight spot, just open the menu and use some. You also get given cures within the levels, so it's a good idea to look around. Overall, the platforming is pretty fun and the enemy designs are varied. It's an overall good time going through the game. The worst complaints I have are more nitpicks, like this water, goo, whatever stuff that comes down here. You have to be really perfect with the timing to pass through unharmed, and it just feels kind of annoying. The timing should definitely be more lenient, and these metal shards inside of this weird metal dragon thing right here are kind of cheap. You'd never expect anything to just fall down when you first get there. The boss fights are also really easy, but they're pretty fun, and I love the graphical effects on display. There's 6 levels to get through, most of which are split into a few different sections that end with boss fights. It won't take you long to beat it though. First time shouldn't be longer than 30 minutes. Once you defeat the final boss, which is a blast to fight, you fly off into the distance with your dragon and the map is burned down. And that's it. Pretty simple. Considering how amazing the opening cutscene is, I was really hoping for a nice ending cutscene. But what can you do? Much like the game Götzendiener, which I covered before, this is a fun and unique game that just desperately needed a little more meat on its bones. There aren't any alternate paths or endings, so it's not really the most replayable game, but it's still worth a go. Sadly, it's gotten real expensive over the years. I'm assuming it just never sold well, but I'm glad to have a copy. I recommend giving it a try. I wish it got some more content and polish stylish, but it's still really neat. After this, Tenky would go on to make licensed games based on stuff like Ranma. They also developed several Melty Lancer games, though they haven't made a game since 2015, which is a shame, but at least they left a lot of games for us to look back on. And that's all I got for you this time. Thanks for watching.